Okay, so how'd you meet? Church. He was 20. You were 6. He said, I'm going to marry that kid one day.
No.
Can you imagine?
Later on, Albert told me that he had seen me when I was 6 years old. He was 20. I had 2 front teeth out, and I had a ball bat and a ball in my hand. And that was the first time he remembered seeing me. And I was just a little kid, you know. He never probably thought about anything being, that's a long time.
No, I know. I'm just playing with
It
you.
was so funny, though. It was funny when he told it. First date.
What did y'all do on your first date? So I guess whatever y'all did before he kissed you.
Well, we'd gone to church visitation, and when we got home, he stayed a while. And that's when he kissed me. We stopped at the end of the road, going up to the house, and there was a the light from the base was going around. He said, "Oh, look over there at the light." Well, I did, and he kissed me then.
Huh?
Whoa. Yes.
That was love, true love.
True love happened quickly, yes, right then. My toenails curled. Church visitation.
Yes, Levi, you want to tell me something?
I think I know now why it was closed down.
Yeah.
Married.
Because of COVID. But why would it be closed down because of COVID? It's just a game online.
I don't know, baby.
Did I just answer yes on that one, married?
Yeah, and you can say how long you were married for.
Yes.
So bored to play that game.
Like I said, it's up to you if you want to add details or...
Years. Yes, 53 years till called him home.
Because some people don't know your story, and they'll be reading this. Everybody on Facebook will be reading your story, how you two met, and all that stuff.
We're taking the Sea Patroller to Farmer Al's farm. Somehow Farmer Al's farm got flooded last night, so we have to rescue him and his animals and get rid of all that water. So for this mission, I'll need
14 years.
I'll need you to use your sub to go underwater and find out what's
He
causing
was waiting on me
Ready?
to grow up. Yeah.
And Marshall, I'll need you to use your boat to rescue the animals who are still floating around. I'm all fired up. All right.
When you say it like that, when you say it like that, jeez Louise.
Age, it was 14 years. He was waiting on me to grow up. He stayed single. Me.
Aw.
I'm gonna start crying in the middle of this
No,
or something.
I'm sorry.
Oh, how long have you been together?
From the first,
From that first kiss, let's see,
you were 16,
17.
17, sorry.
I was February. In fact, it was February.
Coming up next, more Paw Patrol.
I used to know the date.
Stick around.
February 10th or something like that in my senior year. I was 17. Yeah. So 53. So it would have been 1962. If that had been 58 years ago.
Something like that, yeah.
And from behind, it all starts tomorrow morning at 8. Spectacular! Right here on the Nick Jr. channel. Someone wants to wish you a happy birthday. Soraya. Hi, Logan. Hi, Connor. It's me, Chase. We all wanted to call to wish you a happy birthday. Parents, make your kids' day with a personalized call from their favorite Nickelodeon character. Sign up for free at
You broke up with him?
Oh,
Mamaw.
Broke up with him quite a few times. He was too old for me. I was fussing at God. God, he's too old for me. I'm not going to marry
Okay,
you.
Claire. Claire. Flashing your signs over here, darling.
Yeah, I broke up with him a few times.
Claire.
And he and I brought, no. Well, I'll tell your mama. and he and I both would bring people to church,
Uh-huh.
and I would sit there and fume. How dare him? I mean, God, why
Mamaw
are
was
you
a jealous
doing this
girlfriend.
to me? I was. I loved that man, but he
Clara,
was so
stop.
old. You know, that would just, oh.
I don't blame you, though. I think I'd probably fume, too. Be like, wait a minute, you're supposed to wait for
I
me.
mean, here I am bringing somebody else too. I mean, you know, we both had somebody. But, oh man, I loved that man, and it was just so. The age difference was so drastic when you're 17 and 31. You know, it was awful. It was awful, awful. But okay, 58 years. I broke up with him a few times, but knowing that he was the one God had for me. No, I didn't really know that either, too.
You should tell the story about you fuming when y'all took him to, when you brought the other people to church.
Is there room enough for that? For me?
Yeah. It don't matter how long you make it. You can make it however long you want.
He would bring, he and I both, he and both would bring others to church, and I would fuss at God for being so, for him being so old and me being so young. I don't know. Or the age difference.
I forgot all about the hose when we went inside.
Ryder, I got Darby. Good job, Marshall. Robodog, lower the platform.
But
Okay, lift him up.
how I loved him.
Hi, buddy. Want to go over and see Farmer Al?
And that first kiss.
Sheep's ready for the ship.
Easy does it, Fluffy. Everything's okay.
You said after our first kiss. Or, no, before our first kiss.
First presentation and
We're gonna need some kind of a gangplank for
First.
Bettina to walk across. Right, but what can I use? I need something long, flat, and sturdy. How about Garby's boat? Don't lose it, reuse it. Look, Bettina, we built you a special cow bridge. Go on, go see Farmer Al.
which curl my toenails.
Easy, Bettina. We'll get you back home.
Awesome! Now to turn it off. Ryder, I've shut off the water.
Wow.
Two of.
Blue was. You curled not your hair, but your toenails.
Oh, it did. Oh, gracious.
Breathe in.
Okay.
Breathe out.
You didn't. Oh, you
Bring
didn't
others
finish
to church,
that.
and I would fuss at God for the age difference.
But we
Oh,
can't
how
stay on the water forever. If only I'd
Right.
moved that rock away from the storm drain.
So that's what's keeping the water here.
Man.
The drain is blocked. We'll just move it now.
Whew.
Rubble. Take
Who
it
was
right from there, move
interested?
that rock to
Definitely
drain
him.
this
He
Him.
was definitely interested
Yes.
first.
Back on the pasture.
Him for sure.
Who is taller?
By a foot and
He-
some.
Was
Oh, you're at still caps lock. Do you want to do that?
he was no. Well,
Hit the up button. Oh, sorry.
he was 6 foot 1 inch, and God,
What are you doing?
I don't know, trying to capitalize that.
Oh.
Was 6, no, 5 5'6". Yeah.
Hang on tight, Rebel. We'll be right down. Zoom up, Rocky. Let's go, go, go. You got it, Ryder.
Said I love you first.
Ooh, I've never heard this one.
Okay, Pops. Stay back. If you get too close, you might get caught in the whirlpool, too. How will we pull Rebel away, Ryder?
Was it him?
Probably me.
You?
Just have to roll.
I don't know that we even had to say anything. Oh,
You could put that. Be like, we both knew we loved each other, so we just.
Zoom up, stand by. Ryder!
we knew that first kiss. I mean, it was amazing. He may have known before, or he wouldn't probably have kissed me. He'd seen me come in church. What he told me was he had seen me when I was 16 coming to church, and because he was Sunday school director, and he said, I think I'll watch that one. Of course, he paid for me to go to Girl State. He paid for me to go to another thing between my junior and senior year, but he helped all the young people. And if there was something that needed to be paid for, he was always there to pay for it. That's what I found out when I had an old coat that old boyfriend had given me when I was a senior in high school before I fell in love with Albert. And we had it at the old house, so probably after 20 years of marriage, and I got it out and I said, hey, do you remember this old coat that Eric got me? He said, no, I bought you that coat. He borrowed $35 to buy the coat, and he never paid me back, so I really bought you that coat.
That is funny.
Yeah, it was. But Albert was always helping us young people do something. And he never showed any jealousy. That was always so funny to me. He just said, I just pray, God, don't let me get serious about anybody you wouldn't want me to marry. And so
Hey parents,
I
your
seemed to
kids
be
can
the
have fun
only
learning with
one.
Paw Patrol in Noggin.
And he was in love, but
When your
he
kids
was
are
very
introduced to
content
Paw Patrol,
being single and doing what God called him to do, because he built churches and he did all sorts of stuff before we got married. He did a lot of hunting and fishing and all that stuff, but after we got married, he just dedicated himself to the family and church, and that was it.
He decided family life was more important.
Yeah, he really did. He didn't go off too much and do much stuff, and I'm surely he missed it, but he didn't seem to really care about it anymore. He just stayed around for us, looked after us, and worked a lot on the railroad. He worked a lot because he wanted me to stay home. He said, "You stay home, and if we have children, you take care of the kids, and I'll go out and work for the railroad. And if you'll take care of these books." He hated taking care of the checkbook.
He just hated math, or he hated just
No, he
the
just didn't-
organization
He
part
just
of
didn't
it,
want
or
He just didn't want to take care of it. He didn't think like that, And I did, and I love taking care of the books and all that. So when he handed it to me, and he said, the first check you write will be our tithe check, and it will be from the first fruits. And that's what we did all these years. I still am. Same thing. Never have missed a tithe. I don't think all the years that we ever lived, we never missed a tithe. When we were out of Alameda, but we still gave our tithe to some church. We never missed giving God's money back to Him in some way, to some other church probably. But we never missed it. And God has, that's how He's blessed us so much. It's amazing the blessings that God has poured out on us all these years. Even when Rock Island died, and I was a substitute teacher, and he got his retirement faster than most of the men, and they just declared him a class 5 back, and so he couldn't get a railroad job, and God just put him on unemployment, and we didn't have any insurance for 5 years.
yeah.
For the kids being little, they were like very small. It was like an 80.
Yeah.
And David had ingrown toenail. He gave us a discount because we didn't have any insurance. So,
Oh.
we were really blessed. We really were. God just took care of everything. Still does. That's why I have such peace about my life now, being single. Because God's always taken care of us. Through everything that could have happened wrong, God always took care of us because we tried to give our best to Him. in church and anything else. If there was a need in the community, Albert was always there to help. And that's the way his life was always. He was just raised that way. And
Yeah.
he just continued when he came to know the Lord when he was 16.
Yeah.
All right, what's our next question? Hold on a minute. Who said I love you first? We both realized it after that first kiss. Did I say how old he was and how old I was when we kissed?
No.
I was 17 and he was 31. Most impatient?
You both had pretty good patience, but
I don't think.
I feel like it was Papaw.
You think Papa was most
Oh,
impatient?
yeah. Think about the times when he was like that we didn't have like lunch or something. Like, well, I don't know.
Most sensitive? Me. Most stubborn? Probably me. Falls asleep first. Albert could fall asleep so fast. It was unbelievable.
And anywhere.
Cooks better. That's right. Me.
Did
Better
he fall
morning
asleep
person.
anywhere?
Yeah.
I feel like he could.
Oh, this was a better morning person, both of us.
Yeah, y'all both got up early and it was fine.
Mm-hmm. Really got up with a joyous spirit. Yeah. Better driver.
Yeah.
Al drove the first 45 and I drove the rest. Because of Alzheimer's.
Who is the funniest?
Funniest.
I mean, surely y'all laughed a lot.
I think he was. He had the biggest laugh.
And the
That's what I was
loudest
thinking.
laugh.
Oh, yeah.
Mom, I need your
Oh,
help.
his laugh was so
I need
loud.
your help. You have one of these and so
Hold
does a
on.
pin.
You have one of these. I don't know.
Name of
A
these.
head.
Oh, okay. I thought it was heat,
Hmm.
but I was going right because it was heat. Only with the silent. Only with the.
Sonic.
Mom,
Where
you're
do you eat
correct.
out the most? Definitely
you were
Sonic. You should
correct.
tell it about those dates that y'all would go
Mom,
on.
you were correct.
Fridays.
Oh, thanks.
You answered all my questions correctly. Let's do this again sometime. Bye.
I need this.
Oh, hi. Thanks for
He
listening.
would.
Hey, you're great.
What would he do?
Pick me up
Cannot change these.
from the bank. And we would
So does a pin.
have
I just did
Uh,
that.
date or lunch date.
Got it. Nice job. This one finishes this set. Never put off till tomorrow, which you can do.
Mm.
Yes, that's it. You answered all my questions correctly.
I need to do this again.
Right.
Hold on.
I need 300 snow.
There we go.
Now,
Great. It is set. Early bird gets one of these.
who is more social?
You both were pretty social, but what did Papaw like to stay home more?
Yeah.
So does a pin.
Oh, I want a hug.
You want a hug? Well, come here on this side. I love you.
First
I
kiss.
can't.
Where was your first Kia?
It was on
No, where was it?
in the car.
I have more than I needed.
Oh, I see. In the car.
Mom.
Okay.
Mom, look. I have more snow foos than I needed.
Wow. Cool.
And now I can buy something that I really, really, really,
Who
really, really
initiated
need.
your first kiss? He did. Aw.
Yes.
Who was the first one to admit when they were wrong?
Me. The amazing thing to me was he would have.
Mm-hmm.
I never.
You probably never gave him a chance. You were probably like, I'm sorry, it's me.
No.
No?
He was so considerate and kind. Remember, I would tell him every once in a while, why don't you let me hold me a minute while I can have me a good cry, because a girl needs to cry every once in a while. But you don't ever do anything to make me cry. And he really didn't.
Oh.
It was the most considerate, kind man. Even when we were together, we just never had a disagreement. Oh. I let him be head of the home. You know, I submitted to him because, well, not right what. There was a moment when he told me something he didn't want me to go out at night with Christy without, something, and while he was gone, not be gone. And so that night I laid in bed and turned my back to him, and I was just a fussing at God. Now, God, you know that is not right, blah, 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 blah. And God said, will you be submissive? But God, that was a wrong decision. I don't think I should have to do it. Yeah, I just fussing. He said, will you be submissive? God, will you be submissive? He told me 3 times, and I said, yes, Lord. And now I will be submissive. I know he has the same Holy Spirit I do, and if he's wrong, you'll get him. And I won't have to say anything. So, yes, I will be submissive. And the peace that flooded my soul at that moment, laying in that bed, was enough to solve it all. I never questioned another decision because I knew in the moment he would die for me. Or he'd die for you. He'd die for grandkids. He would die for folks. He would die for anybody. Albert was just a Marine.
Yeah.
And from the always, he was just a man who was, even at the funeral, remember how those men would come through and say, he was a man's man. If he said that it was going to be that way, it was going to be that way.
Yeah.
I remember when one time he told me about this new foreman that came in, and boy, he was just regional something, or he was over a little bit more than just foremans. He was over the foremans.
Yeah.
And your daddy said he came in and he said, Mr. Dodson, and he said, yes, Albert Dodson, and you're the local chairman, and he said, yes. He said, well, he started out with some of this language that your papa would not put up with.
No.
And he said, and blah, 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 blah. And Albert just got up and started out the door, and he said, well, where are you going? He said, we're not through yet. And he said, when you learn to, if you start talking like a man to man, without this other language, then I'll sit and talk with you. But until then, I'm not going to talk to you. And he said, I can talk that way. He said, come back and sit down. He said, from that moment on, that man never used that kind of language again with him. Now, with everybody else, he did. But with Albert, he didn't. He respected Albert that much.
Yeah.
And they all knew Albert, the whole system, because he'd been a local chairman for 20 years.
Yeah.
The management knew that Albert was not going to put up with stuff. One time, I remember he was threatened with loss of job, and because he said, my men will not go down there and work. They had a clean-out track where they would take, where they'd have old grain or something left in the bottom of the boxcar, and they would take it down there and they would sweep it out, and that's where the grain was. But they were supposed to clean up the mess as they cleaned it out, but they didn't. And it would be this deep and ugh, it'd rain on and maggots would form and it was awful, awful. He said, my men will not go down there and work in that mess. And they said, well, if their men don't go down there and work, you're going to be fired because you're going to be the one that, didn't say. He said, well, that's all right, you go ahead, but my men are not going to work in that mess. You're going to have to clean it up. So he finally got the EPA involved in it, and yes, they did clean it up, and Albert did not lose his job, of course. That was not going to happen.
Yeah.
And, but they wanted to threaten him. And if Albert had been a man that was as secure in his job, unions are good. If they're good unions, and Albert was a good union man, that's probably why he didn't get on over at the other place, because they said that the man who was over there, I don't know what his name was, but anyway, said he was taking, little things under the table, and he was being pretty footsie with management. And they said, you wait till Albert Dodson gets over here and he becomes local chairman, which they felt like he would be. He'll clean up this mess. You won't have any of this stuff going on. Well, when he walked over there, he had a Class 5 bag. And he was one of the last ones on Rock Island, so he really didn't have a Class 5 bag. But they said he did, so that's how they did it. And when they stamped it that, well, that's what happened. And, but our lifestyle didn't change because we're simple people anyway. We were not over the top with extravagant stuff. We didn't have credit cards, and we just didn't.
I think it's better that way.
It is better. It is better. If I don't have it, I don't spend it. God's really provided. Let's see what's next. Who wears the pants in the relationship? Albert, without a shot of a doubt. 0.
No tattoos.
Who sings better?
Ooh, I don't know.
We both love to sing. We both sang in choirs for 30 years. No, not 30, 50.
I still want to hug. I still want to hug.
Nice. Nice girl.
Yes. He sang bass, and I sang soprano.
I'm sorry, Clara.
Me. Did you go to the same school? No. Who drives when you're together? Albert did.
That's it.
It's not enough.
You can add anything you want to. Put a little note at the end telling how much he was a godly man, how much he loved Jesus. I don't know. Whatever you want to do. You can add anything you want to. It's your coach.
But there would never be enough room to tell you how much he loved that baby, how much he loved me. You just, when God makes you one, he does a good job of it. There's coming years. When God makes you one and you find that one, you will know. I fought it so long, but I had to grow up. It really was a good thing. I had to spend money foolishly. I bought 50 pair of shoes. Ooh, that was
That's supposed to be
fun.
where Mom gets it from.
Oh, I love shoes. Oh my gracious. It was so much fun. Because when I was, on the farm, you didn't get but 2 pair of shoes if you were lucky, and that was a white pair for Sunday or a black pair for Sunday, and then your other shoes, but you just didn't get much. And which made me appreciate more when I had something, when I did get something. But I guess that's why I enjoy washing and drying clothes.
Yeah.
Because there's clothes for everybody to wear. And there's, and we can wash and dry them so easy because I just thank that Lord for that wash and dryer so much. It's amazing.
Mhm.
Sometimes I wish we could just take all of y'all back to there. I wish I could take you back and let the grandchildren and great-grandchildren see what it was like. And we didn't fuss. And we didn't, it wasn't resentful kind of thing. It was what you did. It wasn't, and everybody out here, when I say in the 7th grade, I had two skirts and 2 blouses. That was it. We washed on Saturdays. You didn't want to have a lot of clothes because it was hard work washing and drying clothes and hanging them up and outside and, getting all that water in and all that. It was hard work, and our clothes got dirty
Yeah.
because we worked out there with the cows and the pigs and just played outside all the time. And the house was just so pitiful. You didn't stay warm or stay cold. You were just there. And but when Albert asked me when we got married, we built that first house, which was $10,000 for that house.
Wow.
Total with central heating there.
Whoa.
I know.
Whoa.
And it was 2 bedrooms. After a while, it became 3 bedrooms, 1 bath, and a double garage, carport. And and I remember him saying, because Bert had that heating and air conditioning in Hot Springs, and he said, "Honey, would you like heating and air central?" And I said, "Oh, I don't know." Air conditioning we never had air conditioning. But then I thought, you know what? In the Sunday mornings when I get ready in the old house, it'd be so hot you couldn't breathe, and your makeup would run, and all that, and I'd get in Albert's new car, and it'd have air conditioning blowing. It was so wonderful. I thought, yeah, I think we do need central air, heat and air, and it was the best decision I'd made, except marrying Albert. But but it was so much fun, and of course, when I married Albert, I knew I'd have a time keeping up with him. He was the youngest old man I'd ever been around. He really never became an old man. He stayed young, and then we had these 3 kids, so he had to stay young. But he never acted like an old man. I never thought about him being an older man. Old man, He was always. If the kids was ready to do something, he was ready to be in the middle of it. The kids wanted to go out and skate, let him pull them behind the truck on a piece of tin.
Oh no.
Oh, they did that all the time. It was just amazing how much they loved doing it. All kinds of stuff.
And Papaw was probably like, yes, and Mamaw's like, oh no.
I think,
Oh no.
okay. Y'all
I
just
can't.
be careful.
Okay.
But those kids, them old boys
So
especially,
funny.
they would be out there on that 4-wheeler or the 4-wheeler. No, not 4-wheeler. Forgot what it was called. Anyway, when the 4-wheeler, something else. But they wore it out.
The golf cart.
Yeah, the not golf cart.
The
Go-kart.
Yeah, the go-kart.
Yeah, they had 2 go-karts. One was a single-seater and one's a double-seater. They wore both of them out. I said we should have bought we should have bought stock in chains. They broke more chains than, oh my goodness. it was more broke down than together. 'Cause
Oh no.
they were rough on that thing. Those guys, because we were over on the other place on Republican Road, 54 acres, so they had a barn lot out there that they just wore a hole in the ground, and then they went out and got in the woods, and who knows what out there. I just stayed at the house.
Didn't have to know about it.
Ignorance is bliss. Just don't have to know everything.
I think I
Somebody's calling you, Mom.